Just try to expose some of our kids from the county to some of the kids that have gone on the great things, the coaches. There's a lot of great wrestlers that have come out of the county, gone on to state level success or coaching success or Division I, Division II, Division III success. So just want them to see that, they can go on and do great things and that our county's got great history in wrestling.
Eric Bollette has been running this camp for many years, and one of the big draws to this camp is the top-notch coaching talent he brings in to speak to the kids.
We had Coach Skrekowitz, Chris Skrekowitz from Walk Hill in VMI, former state champ, and then Dan Valamont yesterday was state champ and NCAA finalist. Today we had Kenny Rossi, multiple state medalists, wrestled with James Madison, coach at West Morris and Jefferson, and then tomorrow's Teddy Sibley's from Newton, and Friday we bring in Cody Silvestri, a Division III national champ from Walk Hill, a couple times state finalist. So, it's a great group of guys. We're real excited to have them here. They're great technicians, and we're looking forward to learning some good things.
I saw the list of clinicians with Silvestri, Stregowitz, Valamont, myself, and I think he's got Coach Sibley's coming. That's a lot of state titles and state finalists, guys that wrestled in the area, and it's great for those guys to see that because, hey, these guys came through the ranks we came through, the same leagues and the same teams, and I can do it if they could do it.
Wrestling, like all sports, is year-round, so Coach Bollette is happy to get these youngsters on the mat here on a very hot July day.
It's a good week. It's close to home for a lot of people and relatively inexpensive and great clinicians and, just trying to promote the sport a little more in the county, get more kids involved.
They get that muscle memory going early, and that's what the important thing is. And the key is not to learn, but learn good habits and get the correct technique down so that as you progress, you got that great technique moving on in your career. And, just getting used to being around successful people, and especially I like here they have their high school wrestlers setting a great example for their young wrestlers.
Ken Rossi, the West Morris head coach and former star wrestler at Jefferson and at James Madison, he was today's guest clinician, and he did a great job with the kids.
It's a real honor for me to come in and be able to speak. I've known Coach Bollette for a long time, and, when he asked me, I was flattered that I could come in and speak. Especially you get some young guys with budding careers, and you want to pass what you learned on. That's what this wrestling, circuit is about, is giving back to kids that have, given back to kids the things you learned when you were young. So, I was excited to come and show, I'm a great wrestler on bottom, so I was happy to show a lot of the bottom stuff that I'm, using.
It's July, but it's never too early to talk about wrestling season, especially up here. And talking to Coach Bollette and Coach Rossi, a lot of changes in the high school horizon. Possible 9th region, the separations of non-public and public. Last year, the Group 5, they added a group. I got their thoughts on that.
It's going to be interesting to see what the state decides. I don't know what the answer is, but there appears to be a clear shift in power. So we'll have to see what they decide to do. I don't know if going to a 9th region is the answer. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the 5 groups. So we'll have to see what they decide to do. It's going to be interesting to see when they make that vote and what they decide and, how we go forward.
I'm not in love with the 5 groups. I think it kind of watered it down a little bit. It did give some teams that really don't get a lot of chances at those sectional titles or sectional finals, an opportunity. I don't know if we would have made a sectional final personally, had there been 5 groups, but I still think it kind of waters it down a teeny bit. I'd like to see a tournament of champions where it narrows down to 1. The 9 regions, that's a tough opinion as well. Because, the private schools right now do have a situation where they're drawing kids because of facilities and coaches and other wrestlers. Or, I don't have that option. I can get what my 2% cap and my budget allows. But at the same token, our state is pure because there's 1 state champ. So, they're going to have to refine and fine-tune that road to get there, apparently. It does. Maybe it's a little unfair to them with them all bunched into 1 region because only 3 guys get through. So that's something, the state higher-ups are going to have to do. If you pin me down, I'd say, it's not going to break my heart if it happens.
What a great last 2 years for Morris County Wrestling. 3 state champs 2 years ago, leading the way, Dylan Arteglaire. Last year, 2 state champs. Hanover Park winning a state title. Coach Rossi says Morris County Wrestling is doing great. Back when he played at Jefferson, when they were one of the best teams around, #1 in the state. Also, Randolph was good back then. He thinks Morris County is back to that kind of status.
Just like, most areas that see success, like Region 6 a while ago was really dominating. The success breeds the success. There's a guy in your county that's extremely good. I'll use Metzler as an example. He's got to chase Glory from Del Barton, he's constantly, and that boy from Hanover Park, constantly trying to get better to beat them, and that's only making him better and the guys he's working with better. And the same with the teams. Like, hey, Hanover Park and Del Barton are setting the standard right now, so we got to work hard to catch them, and that's only making us better. Just like when Randolph was the top dog and people were trying to catch Randolph, and then back to when I was in high school when we were the top dog, people were, nobody recognized Randolph was group champions when we were group champions because they were trying to catch us.